people agree that the NBA analytics insider saying that Jaylen Brown would only be the 7th best player on a team is absurd. Most people agree with that. Bobby Marks agreed with it. And so a lot of people think that Bobby Marks is actually catching strays from Jaylen Brown here. I'm going to tell you why I don't think that he's catching strays, why I do think Jaylen Brown's critique and criticism and response are valid, and how we very often misuse analytics in a way that sets everybody up to fail. This is what Bobby Marks said that he'd heard from somebody in NBA team's analytics department regarding Jaylen Brown, and then this is Jaylen Brown's initial response. Brown went on to say that analytics have and are ruining the game we are playing, AI hoops. Marks went on to defend himself saying, but what wasn't posted was the 2 minutes of saying I'm not an analytics guy, but an eye test guy, that I would want Jaylen Brown on my team, that you impact winning, top 10 player, and would help any team looking to win a championship. That part, of course, didn't make it, but that's the media in 2026. Brian Geltzeiler also defended Bobby Marks, saying, I asked Bobby the question. His full answer acknowledged the absurdity of the comment he repeated from somebody else. There are 2 major mistakes that Bobby Marks made in discussing this story. The first was bringing up what appears to be a fringe, non-mainstream opinion from a single analytics guy on a single NBA team. If that were a persistent narrative that he was hearing from across the NBA, across multiple teams, multiple analytics departments, that would be something that was worth noting. But to take one isolated, clearly fringe opinion from an NBA team's analytic person about a player who is already under intense scrutiny, he knew this was going to be an eye-catching thing. And he figured, well, I'm gonna actually argue against it, right? So I'm gonna be defending Jaylen Brown, but you're defending Jaylen Brown against an opinion that should not have been platformed to begin with. The reality is the eye test actually isn't even the defense you need to use. The defense that should have been used in this case is that analytics are increasingly being applied to individual players in individual circumstances in a way that they are not equipped to do. There's a reason that repeatedly, over and over again, analytics and these advanced metrics might not match up with the eye test. And that's because they are not meant to. They are meant to be used by these teams as a way to develop broader understandings of how a player might function in specific situations, but more importantly, within certain systems. It's also meant to say, hey, like in these specific situations in game, we have all of this evidence. What might happen here? What's the best play, right? How can we maximize the success rate of this specific situation in game? That is what analytics are meant to do, not to give you a full breakdown of someone's exact value 1 through 10 based on those metrics. It's not possible for them to be used that way. And we try to use them that way a lot. I'm guilty of it. A lot of people are guilty of it, but you should know better than to give credence to this particular interpretation of how analytics should be applied. They cannot and never will be used as a juxtaposition to the eye test. Oh, well, the eye test tells us this, the numbers tell us this, which one is right? They're both right if you use the numbers correctly. That's the reality. That's the thing that everybody keeps missing. And Bobby Marks should not have even brought that conversation to the radio.